Welcome back, anybody who happens to be watching, to AG Plays Yumina the Ethereal. We are now in space. Clappity, clap, clap. Moving on. A few days have passed since we started living on the Zelerm. Probably not pronouncing that correctly. We've displayed a frightening ability to adapt, especially Yumina, and now we've blended in with the crew seamlessly. Though it's normal for us to be relaxed at all times, we haven't decided to stay here yet, so I think we shouldn't get too familiar with them. Well, but we're talking about Yumina. I'm positive that she's not really thinking too much about what she's doing. On the other hand...
なんだ、その引きこもりの子供を見るような目は。
That's an awfully appropriate simile.
誰が子供だ。身体的特徴を笑うとは人の風上にも置けないな。
I think you know this, but that's not what I'm talking about. Please don't try to cover it up. Our chief, Karara, doesn't seem to have any intention of blending in with the crew. She participates in training programs and tests in a business-like fashion, and spends the rest of her time inside her room. So, why did you call me? Me, I'm progressing decently with the training. It's a pain, though.
歩む、お前の目から見て、この船の人間はどうだ？
They're all elves. Well, if you're asking me whether or not I think I could trust them, then I do. I recall the Zelerm's crew. I was going to watch them to see what they were planning with Yumina. If they were just trying to unilaterally use her, then we needed to escape from here. But those fears turned out to be unfounded. I guess I'm glad about that, because we're in space, so running away would be the biggest pain in the ass ever. It's not just Captain Easel and Zieta and Falhua the entire crew seems to be upfront with us. I believe they're really fighting for the good of all the people in the galaxy. They aren't using us, they're working together with us. Since it's a question of this whole galaxy, it's our concern as well, so it makes sense for us to cooperate, I think.
それなら、お前はこのままここに残って戦うつもりか？
Only if you and Yumina do. I haven't decided yet. I'll make up my mind once I'm clear what you and Yumina want to do.
他人の意見に合わせるというつもりではないだろうな。
I'm only waiting for your opinions, that's all. I don't want to leave I don't want to leave if it means leaving you guys behind in a dangerous situation. Yumina doesn't seem to have made up her mind yet either, and we might get caught up in the fighting little by little at this rate.
なし崩しのうちにか。
Kara seems to think about something for a moment, but then she's back to her old self.
おきつのことはどうする？
I's been extremely laid back these past few days. She's from space to begin with, so she must be used to living like this. Yeah, wait. Who's her sister? No, wait a second. No, we're not on her planet though, this is just the ship. There's no guarantee that her sister would be on here, and probably would have met her already.
分かっているとは思うが、おきつは私たちの側ではなく、銀河連邦の人間だぞ。
But I still think of her as a comrade.
おそらく、私たちが日常に戻ったとしても、そこにおきつはいない。
I know that. I considered her a friend. Yumina probably still does. But it turns out I may only have been one of the people who were there to keep an eye on us. That's kind of sad, to be honest.
今後どうするかについて、私は一切強制しないつもりだ。よく考えて決めるといい。今日はそれを言いたかっただけだ。もう言っていいぞ。
Yep. Chief.
なんだ？
What do you plan to do?
私も自分で考えて決める。宇宙の敵というものにも多少の興味はあるしな。だが、そのために抵当に入れるのは自分の命だ。希少価値があるとしても、あまり利が勝つ選択ではないな。
Kara smiles bitterly in what might be self-derision. But why would she make that face? Hey, Chief.
さあ、もう言ってくれ。 私にも考える時間が必要なのは分かっただろ。
Dots. The conversation is over, so I quietly remove myself. There's clearly something wrong with Clara, though maybe that's only natural, considering the circumstances. I return to my room, thinking about what might happen next. How much meaning is there for us to risk our lives in this war? We'll have to come up with the answer to that ourselves. My fingertips are trembling, but I force them to be steady. Carefully, I complete the maneuver. I'm currently operating a huge, man-shaped machine made of steel. In other words, I'm piloting a giant robot. I still haven't gotten the basic operation down, so I need to concentrate. That's because I... Ugh! I checked my location. Like Zieta said, my machine has overshot the place where I was supposed to come to a halt. I recalled the procedure and correct my location. If I remember right, yeah, this should do it. Setting the main generator to standby mode. Locking joints. All done. I work through the procedure, calling out everything I do. Zieta told me that makes it easier to remember. Come to think of it, my old man told me something similar back when he trained me. One step at a time, I complete the docking sequence. Thanks, but I still don't feel like I'm doing it right. Oh yeah, you said there was a support of some kind. The radiant frames. When I first saw them, I was rendered speechless. I mean, they're giant robots like you would find in comics. It seems a joke that we fight the enemy in these things out here in space. The Galactic Federation's ace in the hole. Then why is Ayamu piloting one? If he's an Ethereal. You said they were non-human life forms, but I still don't really understand. Apparently there's a silicon life form installed in each radiant frame, something like that. I haven't really looked into it myself, but I don't think we even found anything like that. Partner? So it's the name of its species is the silicon life form stuff. It's easy to understand, that's for sure. It's hard to communicate with it, but it manages part of the frame's operations. That part is the use of ethereal power. Though it doesn't have as much as us organic beings, it's quite adept at using it. It matches its abilities to what the main pilot is thinking. That would be very hard for us to do. Anyway, thanks to these beings, the Galactic Federation has managed to effectively fight the extra-dimensionals even with a limited supply of ethereals. Doubts. Zieta seems pretty passionate about protecting his friends. In that, he's no different from me. If he was a nasty fellow, I'd be able to argue with him, but at this rate... I hope they have some man-to-man bonding time. Okay. Because it should be interesting. At Zieta's suggestion, I power down my machine, then I wipe the sweat off my forehead and get down to the hangar floor. We're heading to the mess hall to get something to drink. As I walk through the ship, I once again find it hard to believe that it is indeed a ship. From what I know of Earth's ships, all the rooms and passages should be small because of the limited amount of space available, but the Zelerm is really roomy. I always thought it was odd, but when I found out about the silicon life forms, I stopped worrying about it. It's probably designed this way to accommodate people of all shapes and sizes.
そういえば、まだゼレルムに残るかどうか決めてないんだったよな。
Sorry for the delay, but I just don't know yet.
悩むのは当然だろうな。でも俺としては、お前には一緒に戦ってほしいと思うぜ。
Zieta smiles at me. It's a friendly smile, which makes it easy for me to trust him. I'm...
お疲れ、歩む。
Oh, hey, there's I. Oh, Yumina, did you finish your training too?
成果はまずまず。でも、地球代表のシリアル能力者にしては物足りない。
You're not living up to expectations, Yumina. Shame on you.
だって仕方ないじゃない。選挙の時とは違って、なんというか目的が分かりにくいのよね。こうするんだっていうのが湧いてこないっていうか。力の使い方を変えようと意識しすぎ。もっと普通で平気なのに。普通って言われてもね。十分普通に歌ってるつもりなんだけど。
Oh, they're just practicing singing. Yumina's training consists of singing, just like back on Earth. My own ethereal power is apparently suited for a warrior, so it makes sense for me to train with the soldiers. But in Yumina's case, it's different. It's more intuitive, and only another ethereal is able to interact with it. So she's back to being in Kraro's care. Ai's pitching in too. Surprisingly, Ai's been increasingly helpful when it comes to tips about using her power. Even though her own aptitude isn't anywhere close to Yumina's, maybe it's because she's a natural-born ethereal from space. By the way, what about the chief?
ね、疲れたから部屋で休むって。
あんなちっちゃい体で頑張ってるんだしな。けなげなもんだ。
その、キララって、私よりは年上なんだけど。
Since we haven't been here for very long yet, Zieta is apparently misunderstanding about Karara based on her looks. I think you'll find out what she's like soon enough.
それより、キララって最近変じゃない？
Even Yumina noticed? Huh? Yumina, you'd actually noticed?
珍しい。ユミナがそういうことに気がつくなんて。
And then a space pig flew by the window.
二人の中で私はどんだけ空気の読めない人間なのよ。
And just a little bit. Actually,
限りなく。
I is as mean to Yumina as ever. It's as if the distance I felt between us is gone completely. Actually, the only reason why I felt that distance in the first place may have been because I subconsciously avoided her myself.
お前らのコミュニケーションは妙に容赦がないな。それが地球式か？
Yup.
まあそんなところ。私は現地でしっかりとそれを学んできた。
Really? You didn't start out like that?
絶対嘘よ。
Well, let's leave the jokes at that. We're on our way to the mess hall. Care to join us?
行く行く。勝ちもちょうど休憩だったの。ね、あい。
I nods at that.
お、これで男二人で寂しく休憩ってのは回避できるな。
Oh, Zieta. With Yumina tagging along, it'll be a noisy affair, though.
何よそれ。
We walk onward at a leisure. We pass by other members of the crew on our way to the mess hall. This area seems to be frequently visited. But something's strange. I'm noticing that some of the crew members are avoiding Yumina's gaze.
でさ、今日もずっと歌ってたもんだから、もう喉が渇いちゃって。
Yumina doesn't seem to have noticed, but that's not too surprising. She's always been like this. Unless I miss my guess, it's Yumina and Karara that sentiment is aimed at. And the people giving them those looks are all people above a certain age. Wonder what that means.
意味って何が？
Never mind, just talk to myself.
歩夢がそう言うなら別にいいんだけど。
Yumina frowns, but then she goes back to talking to Ai and Zieta. I watch her from the corner of my eye, which reminds me. I think Captain Easel was acting rather nostalgic as well. For a moment I contemplated talking to the others about this, but in the end I decided to keep it to myself. There's just too much I don't know. What are you going to do after the break, Yumina?
私はキララの部屋に行ってくるけど、なんか呼び出し受けちゃって。
She called you?
ユミナのことだから補習か何かかも。それは嫌だな。でも最近訓練が終わった後で割と一緒におしゃべりしてるし、それかも。
Come to think of it, I've seen you going to her room a lot lately. I once tried to come along, but Karara called me a pervert and kicked me out just like that. What do they talk about, I wonder? I guess I can't come since I'm a guy, but what about you, I?
私はいい。別に呼ばれてないから。
I doesn't seem very interested. That's normal for her, though.
なんかお前たちって仲がいいのか悪いのかよくわからないな。
Neither can I. We've arrived at the mess hall. We spent some time chatting with each other there. We've sure gotten friendly without noticing it.
皆さん、飲み物は行き渡りましたね。
Fal's question is met with nods. Other than Zieta and Fal. Okay, yeah, Fal. I'm just gonna call it Fal. The Bay Club is here also, with the exception of Karara. We've gone and gathered for a more detailed explanation about the extra dimensionals. That's necessary, I guess, but still. Why are we doing this in the mess hall?
別に周りに隠さなきゃいけない話でもないし、ここだと飲み物がなくなった時でもすぐに取りに行けるだろ。
You sound like you guys are drinking alcohol.
な
Let's
る
get
ほ
some
ど。
bottled water.
合理的な考えね。
Is it?
そんなことより歩む。キララが来ないっていうのはどういうことよ。
Because she's in her room? I did call her, but she said she wouldn't come, so there's nothing I can do. It's not like I can order her around. Also, wait, you keep saying call her, but, aren't you in space? Do your cell phones even get reception? She claims she wasn't feeling very well.
そっか。実はキララって人見知り激しいのかな。ここでの説明をなんとか伝えた方がいいわよね。必要ないと思う。部長のことだからきっと自分で調べてるはず。そうですね。それぞれの部屋の端末から異空体関連のデータベースにはアクセスできますから。
ちゃんと説明を受けた方が分かりやすいだろうけどな。
I would like it so much if we had the option to just go onto their computer and just search everything. I'd probably do that. I would probably do that. Still, that makes sense to me. In Kara's case, it would probably be more efficient to read up from a database than to attend an explanation tailored to the likes of us.
さてと、それじゃあ説明を始めるか。まず聞くが、今のところ理解しているのはどこまでだ？
Well, I'm assuming that they're from a different plane of existence. But other than that, not much. Hope we get to see a picture of them eventually. Hopefully soon.
なんかすごく強い敵？
An enemy we can only fight by using Ethereal power. That's about it.
間違っちゃいないな。というより、実はそれだけ分かっていれば十分かもしれない。
No, I'd like to know more.
嘘。本当です。実際それ以上のことはほとんど憶測になってしまいますから。
数少ないきちんと分かっていることは、奴らは突然現れるということだ。ワープとでも言えばいいのか、特殊な空間を渡ってどこにでも現れる。一度現れた後は普通に移動することもあるし、いきなり消えることもある。まちまちだな。
そんなの反則じゃない。
Zieta smiles at Yumina's show off of indignation. Can we really fight an enemy like that?
昔は突然現れる異空体に大打撃を受けていたようだが、今は技術も進歩している。ある程度なら実際に現れる前に位置を特定することができるようにもなった。もっとも完全に現れるまでは一切の攻撃が効かないから、実際に受ける恩恵は敵からの奇襲が減ったくらいか。
But if you're not taking as many losses anymore, can't you take it a step further? If you know where the enemy is going to appear, can't you amass ships there and get the first strike in? If you can strike a decisive blow right away.
それは難しい。小型のものであっても異空体の耐久力は凄まじいから。
And suddenly I get the feeling we're going to be underleveled. I see.
ま、イシリアル能力者の中でも攻撃能力の高そうな歩むなら、俺たちだけの時とは状況が違うだろうさ。
Don't overestimate me, I am only level 19. Can't really accept that, though. There are hundreds of radiant frames aboard the Zelerm. I'm not sure what kind of difference I alone could make. I'm doubtful, even if this is about my own power.
ねえ、異空体の目的って何なの？それが先ほど言った憶測になってしまうことの一つです。異空体の目的はまだはっきりと分かっていません。ですが、一つ言われていることがあります。
Exterminate all life in the galaxy.
それはこの宇宙を滅ぼすってことだ。
Close enough. Destroy the universe? I can't hide my shock at Zieta's statement. Beside me, Yumina's eyes have also gone wide.
それってどこかの星を攻撃してるとかそういう話じゃなく、宇宙全部？はい、宇宙全部なんです。
Also, there are clouds outside those windows. Why do people say that?
結局は消去法なんです。異空体の行動からあらゆる可能性を考えて、結局残ったのは宇宙を滅ぼすということでした。
Oh, the process of elimination, so... I forget the word.
星一つって単位でも大きすぎてうまく考えられないのに。
Pat, pat.
ユミナはスケールの大きい話に弱い。
In this case, I feel the same way. But how do you know they're after the whole universe?
生活圏を広めるためや資源の調達のため、銀河連邦では辺境を向けて探査船を出しています。それがいつの頃からか少しずつ消息を絶っていきました。
探査船が消えた時期を考えるとわかる。その原因となったものがどういうペースで勢力圏を広げていったのかがな。
I see. So that's how you know their objective is the entire universe.
はい、異空体は全方位に勢力を広げていきましたから。かろうじて抵抗できているのは銀河連邦本部を中心とした一定の中域だけです。
Wait, what about Earth?
それってなんだかすごく大事なんじゃない？考えるまでもなく、そう。このままじゃ地球もどうなるかわからないってくらい。
I know why Yumina is so upset, which is also why I know what she'll decide next. We're just students, we don't belong in a war like this. You know that, right, Yumina? I say it to remind Yumina of her position, but it doesn't seem to have any effect.
歩む。
Yeah?
私、今決めたわ。私は、ジーダやファルアーたちと一緒に戦う。
I can't help but sigh at that. I knew it.
私ってバカだから、実はまだ本当にどうなるかなんて分かってないの。宇宙全体のこととか大きすぎて想像もできないし。
I say nothing. Yumina's mind is made up. I can see that.
でも、地球が危ないなら、私は戦わなきゃいけないんだと思う。ほら、生徒会長にはみんなを守る義務もあると思うし。
I don't think most student council presidents get that kind of responsibility. Okay. I nod in resignation. To be perfectly honest, I don't want to fight in this war. It's such a hassle, but I've already decided. I'll protect Yumina and the other members of the debate club.
二人とも協力してくれるのか？
Yeah, if Yumina says she'll fight, then that's that.
オンに切る。やっと肩の荷が下りたぜ。
ジーダ、ずっと赤島さんたちを仲間にしたいって言ってましたね。
ああ、歩たちは頼りになりそうだからな。
そこまで見込まれるのもなんかくすぐったいわね。
Yeah.
なあ、お前たちが戦ってくれるって決めたんだから、キララも協力してくれるよな。
Well, for plot's sake, I'm assuming she will.
それはどうだろう。
Yumina gives me a dubious look. Yawning. Kura said she wouldn't go back by herself and leave her club members behind. But I wonder if that still goes now that those club members have decided to stay and fight. I think it'll be okay, though I can't be certain.
難しい方なんですね。
Yes, she is. Difficult? She's been thinking about a lot more things than us, that's for sure. I still can't figure her out as usual. What do you think, I?
部長の考えてることはわからない。でも、これから戦っていくなら、部長の力はきっと必要になる。
Yeah, if she doesn't join us, then we'll only have 3 party members.
そうよね。生徒会大戦の時だって、実際に作戦を立ててたのはキララだったし。問題は、部長に戦う意志があるのかどうか。それに。
Then I stops, even though she seemed to be about to say something else. Besides what?
忘れて。ただの私の想像だから。
Dots question mark? I don't know what I was about to say. I've been around her for a while now, but I still can't read her face.
何はともあれ、改めてこれからよろしくな。
こちらこそ。
And so we have decided to take on a new fight. What will this determination bring us? There's nobody who knows the answer to that right now. So many. We had that credits thing after he... Yup. Oh. Who? Who's that? I bet that's that guy that mentioned Carousel. Oh, jeez. Proof of a girl's determination. And that is Carrara right there. I get the feeling it's finally time for Carrara's route to show itself. Wow. 40 hours! And we're finally getting into an actual route. Yup. Okay, by the way, I've expanded upon my theory about Carrara. I'm just gonna say this before I stop this recording. It's almost a half hour. So, my thought is that... Well, I mean, I've already said that I think Carrara came from the past. Or from the future. I think that... Carrara was the, may have been the person who... Oh, but wait, but then where was Ayamu? Ayamu is the unknown factor, though, as well in my theory. But I think Carrara was the thingy before, the candidate, and Yumina was helping her, maybe, and that's how like Carrara knew about a lot about things. And actually, there's a lot of flaws with that thing. Never mind. Anyways. That's it for this part. We're about to get some Kurara stuff going, and I'm super excited. So see you in the next one. Bye.